Hey everybody, it's Kevin. My name's Kevin, and I hope you're well this morning, this Sunday. Let's see, today is the 20th of December, 2020, 12/20, 2020. Something significant when numbers like that show up in a row. Don't know what it is, but it just always makes me think, oh, 12/20, 2020. Interesting. They talk about 20/20/20 rule. I don't know quite what that is, but I've heard that recently. I've seen it and I've read it in books. What's a book I'm reading right now? The 5 a.m. Club. I've seen it in that book. So, welcome to today's meditation. Move over here, show you the card that we got and talk about that a little bit. There, Earth and Ground. Basically, this angel card subject is talking about you and connecting with truly who you are at the source and the root of everything. Sometimes, especially around the holidays, at different times where our emotional self, ego self, the self that is not grounded, mind, lofty thoughts, feelings, we tend to spiral in all kinds of different directions. You know, our routine at this time of the year, if we ever had one, gets knocked off course, and sometimes it's easy to forget who we truly, really are. I think people tend to put on masks and become insincere, shallow, different around the holidays. Not intentional, I just think it happens. Everyone's somewhat, if they don't feel like being on their best behavior, they're pretending to be. It's just an observation, it's not a judgment. I have learned over the years that myself, I've acted sometimes out of a feeling of obligation, not a feeling of authenticity. Like I feel like I need to do this, I feel like I need to do that. I think I should be responsible for, and then there's the whole thing about what the new year looks like. So, Earth and Ground is a reminder of connecting with you, who you are, which we should all be doing, and know that you, me, everyone on the planet is valuable, especially right now. So, Earth and Ground just asks you to connect with and get real with the core of yourself. So I like to share how this shows up, how it lands, because it does land and it does show up for me quite real. So this morning I'm getting ready and I'm got in the habit now of early in the morning. There is something powerful, magical, genuinely peaceful done at this time of the day before the sun has come up, if you're in the eastern part of the United States, which I am, and nothing's happening. Most of the world at that hour, wherever they are, is asleep, resting. But for those of us who are stirring, you're up. It does feel very different. I find myself being an awful lot more productive in the early hours of the morning. So it's a good time for me to sketch out what this day is going to be like. I have now got in the habit of being able to let the day I had yesterday go. Done. I did it. That showed up towards the end of the day. It was a new habit of closing the day down. reading, writing, just closing the day off, almost basically saying goodbye to it because it was done, finished. And that was a new habit that came up out of not wanting to drag the woes and the worries and the stuff from one day to the next, being able to put it aside and yeah, complete it. So this earth and ground energy came up. um, my lessons show up when I'm feeling not in the greatest of spaces. So that's when I'm like, okay, I got to learn something here. And I'm sure, like many of you, I went to put on some jeans, and they were just a bit too snug. I had a hard time doing the top button up. I thought, okay, I have got some Corona holiday Christmas fluff going on that need to be addressed. And for most of my life, I have had this idea that weight is an issue, physical weight, the weight that you carry, the way the clothes don't fit, they do fit. And I'm not on my own. A lot of people who are sensitive, and sensitive meaning, emotionally sensitive, that happens. We don't realize it, that we start to stuff stuff in. Um, so I got clear, which is what the earth and the ground is. It's getting clear with what is this, and the easy part of explaining it is yesterday in my hair work, I got super creative and super involved in what I was doing, and I was loving it. It was a bit like creating masterpieces with hair color and cutting and just giving my creative side something else to do. Um, I was so into it. What I've realized is that takes a lot. Not so much physical energy, but it takes a lot of energy to sort of channel, if you will, that creative side to get into the line of the cut and the way that the hair moves and shapes and goes and the color. And what I've noticed in doing that is I was so lucky that Katie and Nikki were quiet. They were just quiet, just doing their thing, not making a lot of noise. But what I've noticed is when I'm super creative and super into it, the clatter chatter, the noise, the external, the noise of radios, other people going on, chit chat, that sort of like is like this interference, right? I'll get to the point of how this shows up in a minute. When I realized, oof, these jeans are a bit snug, and I'm a bit tight. This is a bit tight. Taking on things does have a sense of expansion. So I get these epiphanies when I'm thinking, it's not making an excuse for the expansion, it's getting to realize, two things. One, there's got to be some balance between the nutrition and the nurturing that I've talked about before. And that is also when you've been super creative. Let's just think you've been out in the yard and you've done landscaping, or you're a physical painter and you paint. Anytime that you're doing something incredibly creative that takes a lot of energy out of you, it has to be replenished, it has to be nurtured, it has to be grounded, and it has to be pushed back into the earth. Giving so much of yourself, whether you are a parent that gives to children, a spouse that gives to a partner, a teacher that gives to students, a healthcare worker that gives. Megan says, because we refuse to buy new jeans, let's get creative. I did buy new jeans, and I thought I knew my size, Megan, and then I just wasn't that. And what I love about doing this work, this personal growth work, is everything's temporary. It really is super temporary. Nothing stays there forever, ever. You know, nutritionalists, TV people, yeah, wait till 26th, 27th, 28th of December. They're all going to be pushing us down the aisle of drinking green smoothies and going to the gym and counting calories. Yeah, no, there's part of it. That is part of it. Getting real with the sense of who you truly are and understanding that, so what, the jeans are a bit tight today, by Wednesday they'll fit. That's it. That's really the whole idea, is not attaching the negative stuff to yourself. Like, even if you, like for myself this morning, the jeans were a bit tight and I was thinking, I've got a little bit more fluff. I love it. It's just a bit, there's a bit more there. I'm still eating my ice cream. I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. Yeah, I think it's just getting real and being grounded and understanding that this is life and we have to live it. What I've associated with dieting and restriction is that serves my feeling of lack. That is going down the same aisle as poverty consciousness. It is the deprivation. It is, so any time that you are asking yourself or a spirit to deprive yourself of living a life, of being super creative or super whatever that is. I mean, creativity is something that not anybody on the planet can ever take away from you. This is the one thing everybody has. When you hear someone saying, I'm not creative, no, you've just shut the door on it. Got to open that door up and let it out. And the other part of someone who says they're not creative and they can't do it, they're wanting to be somebody other than who they are. They haven't yet found the gift that they do have. What did I read this week? We all have magic. Not all of us know how to use it. That's it. It's finding out how to use your magic. And then there's something that happens when you find that magic, you use that magic and you turn it into something positive. That's when the fluff, the extra stuff, this energy that takes over just goes whoop and it all falls back into place. So, all that to say, earth and ground is getting truthful and real with where there is a feeling of depravity, a feeling of, oh, realness, like my jeans just got tight. It didn't mean that I call myself fat. It might mean that I got to get real with what's this happening for? And how do I feel about this? And is it okay or not okay? Will it change the way I do things? Probably not. Okay, I just got to be aware of it. That's it, an awareness to it without the negative constructs of shame and blame, comparison, all of those things that we go traipsing down. Before we meditate, I'll share another thing. You know, since I've stopped tuning into mindless television, thank goodness for streaming, because you can choose what you want to watch and when you want to watch it. But since I've stopped tuning into, the network nonsense is a good name for it. I'm not getting all those subliminal messages, the constant, and I didn't realize how much that affects me. My mother, bless her, 80 something years old, 80, now that the political ads have stopped on their television, they're popping pills. So you have all of that happening. It's so interesting how people are driven by a media that automatically you can be influenced. We're watching television commercials where people are setting the table and they're making all sorts of lovely desserts and cooking all sorts of incredible food. So what does that do? It tells you you're hungry. not so much. All right, let's sit and meditate. And thanks so much for joining in and that message of, I don't know where that went. So feet on the floor. Just bring your mind to the soles of your feet and your seat. Just do a scan. And this time feel your physical body as it is. Take a scan, a little mindset of your lower leg bones and move out to the skin on top of your shin bones. Move up to your left knee, your right knee, with your mind and your consciousness into your left upper leg bone between your left knee joint and your left hip joint. Take a mind scan and focus on how your muscle feels, the bone feels relaxed, easy, no feeling at all. It just is all good. Bring your thoughts over to your right upper leg bone. Move into your right hip joint and your right buttock. Take your mind and your focus to your left hip. Your tailbone, move up to your lower back, lumbar area of your spine, and the delicate nerve endings, muscles. This is an area that tends to be compressed more than other parts of your back. It does a lot of work. Move up into your mid-back, thoracic spine, the area between your belly button and your ribs. Think about your left side body from your left rib cage up to your left armpit. Incorporate your upper left arm down into your fingertips on your left hand. Let your mind focus and drop into any part of that that is not easeful. Parts of that part of your body, or anywhere from your left pinky toe up to your left armpit, anywhere that feels trapped or tight, tense. Take a breath in and send your breath to those areas specifically. Let the breath open up those tense, tight parts. As you exhale, send it down into the earth. If you haven't already done so, scan the right side of your torso, the right arm. back of the right shoulder into the right elbow. It's okay to move certain parts of your body to make absolutely sure they're stiff, tight, and tense, or is it just you? It's okay to do that. Focus your mind on the physical structure of your physical being. You are a soul and a spirit that inhabits a physical body. Focus on your neck and shoulders. Move down to your deltoids and your scapula. Another area, large area that holds a lot of information, takes a lot of power on. As you move your shoulders up and back and realign your neck, move it down, move it back, side to side. Breathe into any areas that's tight and stiff. Exhale out, send all of the tension straight down into the core of the earth to be recycled and transformed. And from the base of your neck to the base of your skull, those few little vertebrae bones, think about them, focus on them. Breathe healing, loving light into them. And then lift on up to the crown of your head. And there is a light. I call it the eternal flame that's inside of you. Visualize it as a physical light around your heart muscle and your lungs, the centermost point of your physical body. I'm thinking of this light a bit like an LED strip that shines from the inside of you, as if you're illuminating your entire skeletal structure. As you breathe in, let the skeletal structure brighten and lighten, and let the eternal flame that powers it reveal the areas that are healed and or need healing. Now expand the light above your head and below your feet, out 4 to 6 feet in front of you, to side of you, to the back of you. Picturing and seeing your silhouette. And feeling the flow of energy from your feet, grounded, earth, all the way up through and beyond the crown of your head and out to the sides. This treatment, this meditation is you radiating light, connecting with the vibrational energy, the source energy of the vast universe, cosmos. With the energy of earth and ground, you can continue coming to your breath. And take a few moments to bring your mind to your physical environment. Place your hands at prayer, heart center. Set up a mantra for your day. It can be a word, it can be a verse. It could be an affirmation. An affirmation is a declaration of whatever word comes after I am. So you could use I am love, I am joy, I am happy. You could also affirm that from this moment forward, all good things happen for me. Make the affirmation or the mantra that you choose for the rest of this day be something that's slightly challenging for you to try on. The challenges help us grow. The challenges remind us to believe. The challenges reveal to us what our blind spots are. Lift your thumb knuckles to your third eye center to honor everybody else that is going through what they're going through. Send and see, feel and be with that divine light that lives in you as we bow and say namaste. That's a good one today, I think. I felt that was a good one. There's an awful lot of information out there that's helpful for meditation, for personal growth. Personally, I think that we're heading in that direction. I feel like there is this, not to quote Eckhart Tolle, but there is a new earth emerging. There is a new consciousness happening, which is why we're really seeing, feeling, watching the destruction of control, which is what all of this, I call it crazy nonsense, but all the clatter chatter, all the news, all that stuff that sends us off into oblivion with feeling we don't quite know what to feel. All of that is all the energy leaving, being transformed, being changed. Another, and you've probably already heard of this, another good resource for everything good in the world is anything on Hay House. Now, Louise Hay, if you didn't already know, passed in 2017, and many books. I think her mission, her intention was to publish and promote authors' material that shifted and improved, increased the consciousness of everybody. In other words, none of the publications, none of the materials, none of what sold or promoted, my understanding, through that website is going to send us backward. It's going to move us forward. So that's one possibility that you could get into. Anything, I think, that speaks to you now, it's almost like open forum. I feel like we're in this spiritual university. The other day I talked about being in kindergarten. This time of the year, the winter, the coldness on the Western Hemisphere is about bringing in and basically grounding yourself to energize, recharge. That means soulful reading, purposeful thoughts, new habits, new alignments, all of the tools you gather, all of the resource you pull in, so that the following 12 months, if you will, seasons, starting off with spring, you're ready to go. And, typically by February, beginning of March, that begins to emerge. Things begin to start popping and happening. So use this time, December, the holidays, January, the midwinter, to find the lessons, references, books, movies, get that mindset going, up to and including what do you want to recycle. I don't like the term anymore of getting rid of, dumping. I mean, you could use that if you want. Composting, things like that we no longer use, no longer need, no longer serve us. Well, those things I think served us for a purpose. Anything that's of a negative ilk, we become positive because we figured out, well, that wasn't really the right way, but it led us here. It got us where we need to be. So rather than look at it as a bad thing, terrible thing, bad person, terrible person, like, oh, without that experience, I wouldn't be here. So, right, my friends, I'll be back here tomorrow morning, 5:30, to do it all, not again, but to do something else. Have a great Sunday. I love you. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.